Hi chums. Right, this is about routing holes on a lathe. So what's the project? The project is that I'm making a puzzle for a competition on Saturday in the Ulster chapter of the Irish Woodturners Guild, and the competition is for a puzzle. But it's very hard to find puzzles that are completely perfect for doing on lathe, that are all round. So I came across this one, which is a very difficult puzzle. It's a very straightforward linear puzzle, and it's got 4 balls on the left and 4 different coloured balls on the right. So we'll just say black and white, okay? And the idea is that you move the black balls to this side and the white balls to this side, and you can only move one ball at a time, and you cannot go backwards with any colour. You can only go forwards. And this has been put through computers and stuff, and there's only one known solution to this puzzle. But the problem is that that's linear, so what do you do? So I made it circle-y roundy, okay? I have to go over here because everything's in the way. So there's what I've done there. I've got a circle here, and I made 4 of these black African blackwood balls. Well, actually I made about 20 of them to get 4. And then I made 4 U balls as well. So I've got my 2 colours there, and then this is the size of the playing surface. And don't disregard these holes here, because these are just practice holes to get depth in that. But that's my mock-up on MDF, and it works okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I route these holes, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing it with first. This contraption here with the handle on it is a drill master from Oneway, and I saw this on Frank Howarth, I think. Frank Works, I think it is. But he's a super guy. He's got the swimming pool turned into a workshop, and he had one of these, and I thought I have to have that. So I bought one. Now over here in Ireland, well, I got this from England, and it cost £102. It was just over $160, and then there was delivery on that, but I can't remember what it was. I think about $20 maybe, or £10, $20, $16. So this is the first time I've used it. Okay, so it's very simple. All this does is it holds a drill. It's designed for drilling on the lathe, okay? But my mate Michael, who's a wood turner, discovered that this collar on the small router fits inside the clamp for a drill. Now, as you can see, it doesn't close completely, but there's a real long thread in this, so it's well held in position. The problem I have is drilling these holes is that I couldn't use a drill because it wouldn't run the router bit fast enough, and it wasn't my router bit, it was Michael's that he lent me. So I waited till I got a router, and then discovered that the 1/2 inch was too small, but 15.44mm, which is this router bit, is perfect for these balls to sit in a bit proud of the surface. So it's actually the same diameter as those little balls are 15.44mm in diameter. So this is the same diameter, but I don't drill it as deep, so they sit a bit proud then. But I want to be able to use the game so it can be turned left and right, and they won't fall all over the floor, you know. So basically what happens is you set your router up, and then you get your distance that you want into the work, which is that, and then there's a stop on the back here, and that allows you to bring the work back, or bring the router back and reset and bring it forward again, and you're at depth because of the stop, and then back again. So I've done it on these, and I'm doing it, and this is a piece of Paduk. So I'll show you what I'm doing now, okay? Just forgive me while I try and get this camera back onto the lathe without touching any buttons anywhere, okay? Right, here we go. Now, this is going to be very noisy, guys and girls. I just want to turn that. We'll just see, I've got everything locked down here, you see. I think that gives a fairly good idea of where I am. I'll try and keep out of your light. Where are we at now? If I can see that, well, it's upside down now. Yeah, so I can work here and you can't see me. Can I turn this on? Yes, I can. So you can see it okay. Right, headphones on, or turn your sound down if you've got headphones on, because this is pretty noisy. I've indexed the first one, okay, so I've got that one done. So my next thing is I can index in 36 places in this lathe, but I'm using the first one. That gives me 12 places. There's 12 holes in the spindle, but these are all offset to give 36. So I'll just use this one, and then bring it round again and put it in the next hole, Now when you're doing this, just wriggle your chuck about a wee bit to make sure that you get it in absolutely, because I've noticed that it can fight back a wee bit. Now there's no movement there at all, so I can go ahead. Okay, so I'm just gonna, whoops, I'm just gonna stick this shield on me because I don't use routers much. This is my first time ever using a router, but I don't fancy the idea of having something in my eye before I realise it's there, you know. So shield down. Right, headphones, guys and girls. Job done. So as I say, this it's really, really good. Now the reason I'm doing this is for a friend called Bob, and he told me how to use a router to make these depressions, and I want to show him what I'm doing because I think it's only fair. He was kind enough to tell me what to do to help me to get this done, so I think it's only fair that I show him what I'm doing, because his method would have worked perfectly. What he told me to do is use a template and for the router and move the router about on the template, drilling where you want to drill. He made a solitaire board. I don't know how many holes it has, maybe 30 holes. So it meant that there's a lot of drilling to do in very, very precise drilling. And I saw it on a competition. I think he won the competition with it, maybe, you know, last year. And it's beautiful work. But this is actually working better this is what I always had in mind, and I didn't say to him at the time I was going to do because I was scared I wouldn't get it done. But now I'm seeing it working. That's what I'm doing. So I want to show Bob what I'm at, you know. So right, headphones. It's not really, really hard. So what have we got there? We've got 3 now. I need 9 of these holes, and I'm just going to bore you all to death and do the 9 and let you see it working. But this is my first time I've put up a video of me working, really, on my wood turning channel. Right, ears. So I have to start somewhere. So I decided to start with this and get it done. I've just bought a new SD card, and it'll give me a lot more time for recording, and then I'll be able to do longer videos. Right, ears. So we need 9 of these, and there's 5 done already. So like it doesn't take much time. It takes a long time to set it up. The actual drilling of the first hole took about an hour and a half. By the time I had done my measurements and everything else. Right, watch the ears. By the time I had done my measurements and everything else, about an hour and a half it took, because everything had been measured like 20 times to make sure it was right, because I don't want to do this twice, you know. And I've already done a couple of prototypes. Right, ears. And I want to get this done because there's other work I need to get done. I've got wee ducks to make for Saturday as well. I've got about 10 ducks made. These are for the Children's Hospital again. I'll show you how I make those. Those are for the Children's Hospital in Belfast. They paint the ducks up. These are little kids whose parents are the only people allowed to see them because they're in isolation, most of them. And they can't get their friends and family and brothers and sisters and stuff in. So they get the ducks and they make the ducks into little caricatures of the people that they can't see. So it's like having their family there, and they become very treasured possessions for them and their parents. So I've never done this before, so we're doing ducks at the moment, and it's good fun. So how many have we got now? Count 15 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 more to go. Right, watch the ears, please. There's only one fault with this machine, and it's not the machine's fault, if you like. It's the lathe's fault. I can't get this exactly square with the work at this distance from the centre, which is about 2 inches from the centre of the spindle. It's just my boundary doesn't go across far enough, and the offset, there's no offset in that one, but, well, I suppose there is offset, is not coming towards me enough to allow me to get are going far away enough to allow me to get into the center. But if you're doing anything beyond 2 inches, you're going to have, as far as your banjo comes out, and 90 degrees. But as you can see, we're only going in short distance, so the radius on the cutter is good, is going to hit the target for me, you know. Right, count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll do one more. This is what I'm saying. When you're doing this sort of thing, you have to keep count of what you're doing all the time. I have found myself making lots of notes with this one because it's so important that I get it right. You know, this is the bottom line is there's a competition, right? It's not about winning the competition. It's about doing the very best you can for the competition. So that's what I want to do. I want to do my very best. And if it takes time, it takes time, you know. I was working on this last week and I stopped because I started to lose confidence in myself. I didn't think I could do it. So I stopped and I just did other stuff, and I came back to it today, and I'm sort of, at the moment I'm going okay. Right, ears please. Right, now, before we go take this off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 holes, right? So that's it done. That's the job done. So I can take this off now. And what I'll do now is I'll just give that a wee skim just to take the pencil marks off. So that's right, and then I'll take this off the lid, and I'll fit the lid first. But what I want to do to the lid is, if I can just get the lid wherever it is, yeah. I can take this away now because that's done. Right, what I want to do to the lid is, the lid's fitting quite tight at the moment. I'm letting the wood sit as long as I can, but it's just a nice fit at the moment, you know. But I need to route a channel in there for this here, but I'm not going to do it with this in case I burn it. What I'll do is I'll mount, see I've still got me thing on this, I'll mount this on the chuck and I'll route with route nose scraper, I'll route this distance I need so that I can keep offering up the plain surface here and the little balls to make sure this will fit on nice and tight. It'll all match up nicely, you know. So I'm going to use an oil finish on that because it's going to hopefully get a lot of handling. But you see, it's just too tight now for me. So I'm not going to take that off because maybe I just will take it off. No. I can't get it off, but I don't want to work out. I mean, I know it's wrong, but the wrong angle for getting it off. I'll just leave it there, but I'm just going to leave it now for overnight for all the wood to settle again, and I'll just sand it down to size, you know. I've just noticed it's moved a wee bit there. I'm going to have to sand that a wee bit. But that's what it says. It's all about trial and error and stuff, you know. So hopefully that was useful. This thing here, where are we at now? If I can just turn this around. This thing here is a great job, the Drill Master thing. I can show you better there now what it's like. As you can see, it just holds the truck thing there, and then you can come across and set your depth. It's got quite a good range of travel on it, you know. I'll just take this off the back here, or will I? See, this is the best laid block up. There's my wee spanner there, which I'm probably going to drop down. I don't know what's wrong. I'm scared of getting into the light here, and I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, there we are now. I'll just make sure I've got it completely out. No, right there. There's so much travel we've got. Right, so that's it. That's it right back now. That's it back as far as it'll go now. And I just want to check it. Is it back? I don't know. I think that's back as far as it'll go now, and then it comes forward a fair bit. So you could go drill through something if you wanted with a drill bit. There's enough distance there with a drill bit that you could drill through something fairly deep. But the stuff I'm doing only requires that much movement, as you saw, not very much. So, as I say, it's done the job, and I'm very pleased with it. Drill Master from Drill Wizard from Oneway, and there's the. Oops. There's a blurb. I'm not getting a kickback off this. I'm just showing you a tool that I'm very pleased with. Okay, just give you that, and then I'll just show you that bit there. You can stop the thing and watch read it for yourselves. Okay, so it's made. Oh, look at that there. That came from Oneway, Germany. Good old Germany. Peter Freitag will be all pleased with that. Oh, by the way, guys, there's a wood turning channel, a wood turning site on YouTube for European turners. Now, it doesn't mean American turners can't join and people from all over the world, but it's to try and help ourselves because there's so many things we see in America that we can't get here, or we haven't got the name for here. One of the big ones, mineral oil. We don't ever know what to ask for when we're asking mineral oil. Liquid paraffin is mineral oil here in Ireland and England, and if you want to get it cheap, if you want to spend it expensive, go to your local pharmacy. If you want to get it cheap, go to a local vet, because they shove it down horses' necks all the time to put it in tablets and clean them out and stuff. And cattle and sheep and pigs, they all get liquid paraffin because it's a great mover, boy, great mover. So that's it. Okay, so that's it. Drilling holes, routing holes on a lathe, and that'll do us. Okay, what's that there? 15 minutes, far too long. Okay, all the best now. Bye bye.